Today, it's my pleasure to be speaking with Clare Strong of Fairbury, Illinois. She's Prairie Central High School's starting varsity kicker and has recently committed to Rockford University to continue her kicking career. Before we kick things off, though, no pun intended, if you enjoy this episode, please like it, share it, comment on it, and be sure to follow my pages on Instagram and Facebook and subscribe to my page on YouTube. If you want to support this show, you can donate on Venmo to username The Paul Garcia Show, or you can become a patron on patreon.com/Paul Garcia, where you'll get early access to each and every episode, just like this one, for as little as $1 a month. With all that said, Clare Strong, thank you so much for coming on today. I appreciate it a lot.
Thank you for having me.
Hey, it is my pleasure. So, how did you even get into football in the first place? Let's start there.
So, ever since I was young, I've been playing football with my my siblings and my mom and dad and all of them. We would gather together all Sundays all the time, and we'd play football two-hand touch. So I was really interested in playing high school football. I wanted to actually play instead of just play with my family. I would say that's probably what made me like playing so much. So
that was your introduction to it, and it makes sense that that's your start, because playing football with your family would be different than playing with most families, because you had enough for 2 full teams.
Yeah.
How many siblings do you have?
So I have a total of 10 siblings. So there's 11 of us. I wouldn't say the younger kids. It was more like people that would play was my older siblings and then me.
And go ahead and name some of them, because a lot of people watching will know who they are.
Yeah. So the most I played with was my 2 older brothers, Victor and Francis, and then my younger brother, Blaze. So with them, I would actually play tackle football. So I would go and I'd tackle Blaze all the time. Victor and Francis would be the quarterbacks. So that was a lot of fun. We played that all the time. So every night or every day there was a football game, we would go and play as them, in the NFL,
Oh, so you would, if the Bears are playing the Packers, you'd be the Bears, and Francis and Blaze would be the Packers?
Yeah.
Wow.
So usually the teams was it was me and Francis against Blaze and Victor, because not to throw anyone under the bus or anything, but Victor was always the better player, and then I was always the better player other than Blaze, so we kind of made it so it's kind of even a little bit.
There we go. Yeah, you got to be fair.
Yeah.
Were you when did you start playing competitively, in school? Because you were homeschooled for some part of your life, right?
Yeah, so I was homeschooled up until my freshman year, which is when I started playing football. And before that, I never played any sports. I played soccer 3 years maybe, and I'd go and play in Peoria for a little bit. But other than that, I didn't play any sports. So I started playing freshman year, and my mom didn't really actually want me to play. So the only reason that I got to play was my dad was all about it. He let me play. So I got my mom to let me play, and she said I'd only be able to play freshman year. So as I went into this season, I got a lot of playing time. Other than kicking, I was a halfback or running back, and then I also played outside backer, and I started for that. So.
Well, what was your experience? Well, first of all, before I ask what your experience your freshman year was like, what was your mom's reasoning for? And your mom's a wonderful person, by the way. What was her reasoning though for saying just freshman year? At first, she was no football at all, but then she caved and said maybe just freshman year. But what was her reasoning behind that?
So usually freshman boys aren't that big, and I was about the same size as them, I guess. So it was less of a chance to get hurt, I guess, is what her point was.
I see.
As I, coming into freshman year, I was lifting more than half the football team.
Lifting more in weight or lifting more often? Lifting more in weight.
I was lifting,
Wow.
Probably lifting more often, too, because I was going to the gym every day. So, since I was 12, I would go to Elite every day and lift with Matt Kimmins. He's my personal trainer, also the athletic trainer at Prairie Central. So Yeah, I would lift every single day with him, and that's probably why I could lift more than the other guys.
Well, you said from what age did you start going and training with Matt at Elite? And Elite is Elite Physical Therapy in Fairbury, which is like
Elite Sport and Fitness.
Oh, okay. And that's kind of like a rehabilitation place, but it's also an athletic development place, right?
Yeah. So I started there when I was 12 with Matt because that's when I decided, I was like, yeah, I want to play high school football. And I was small at the time. So I needed to get bigger. So I started going there every single day. And he helped me achieve my goals. So.
Wow. And when you were 12 years old, that's crazy that you did that at 12. I was not working out when I was 12. Yeah. But when you decided to do that, was your mom still not on board? Or at this time, was she like, okay, fine, Claire, when you get to high school, you can play 1 year? Or was it when you were 12, she still wasn't on board?
So I think she kind of thought it was a joke. Like, I feel like that's what it was. But I told Matt that was my goal and that's what I wanted to do. So I don't think she was on board until like the season actually like started. So.
And for people that don't know, I mean, Matt is your brother-in-law.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, he married your sister Bernadette. Yep. Were you guys kind of, so he knew that your goal was to play football and to play it well. Mm-hmm. Did you guys kind of keep that from mom for a while, or it was just out there?
Yeah, it was kind of just out there. I knew what I wanted to do, and I was going to do it, so.
Hey, it's kind of cool that you said that you knew what you wanted to do, and you're just going to do it.
I mean, yeah.
Well, what was your freshman year experience like then? You know, maybe the other kids, the boys, because 99.99% of the football players are going to be boys in high school, were they weren't much bigger. What was your experience playing like then?
So, well, first of all, I didn't know anyone on the team. So I showed up to practice and they're like, I don't know what the boys thought of me, but I showed up to practice and nobody knew me. So no one really talked to me. So the first couple weeks was kind of awkward, but once I got built a relationship with the guys, it was a lot better. So I really liked it. I mean, the first game, I would say I was pretty nervous because I'd never played tackle football in these actual pads and with guys. So.
Well, what was it like then? Did you get drilled a couple times or? Yeah.
Okay. So I got hit. I was always being thrown around just because I was small, but I don't know. It was a lot of fun. I like getting hit. I mean, it doesn't hurt me, but I like hitting people. So I was like,
you're cool with it. Yeah.
Yeah, it was fun. I loved it.
Yeah, I mean, getting hit by your brothers in the front yard, backyard, to North Park, whatever. Yeah, you were used to it. It wasn't a shock getting drilled for the first time. It's like, well, this doesn't hurt as much. I've got armor. Yeah.
It's a different. Yeah, it was a different kind of feeling.
Well, okay, so you're actually a phenomenal kicker. This isn't just you got the position out of sympathy or something. I know that's might be kind of a rough thing of me to even suggest, but no. So here's some stats that your coach, Mr. Coach Quinn,
Quinn,
at Prairie Central, gave me, and so let's see, you've kicked for 4,661 yards. In combined kickoffs, you've gotten 10 tackles in your career. So, kickers aren't known for getting tackles, but no, you're a tackler. And you've made 61 of 82 extra points, and you've even gotten some touchbacks, and you've kicked plenty of 60-yarders. Yeah. You've even kicked 45-yard field goals. But, kicking 60 yards, I mean, that's impressive. That's really good, and you're getting touchbacks in games.
Yeah.
Where do you get the leg from? That's you had to have... Did you lift for that, or just tell me where your good leg comes from?
My older brother, Victor, he was the kicker. I can't remember what year. It was 2015.
Yeah, well, he graduated in 16. Yeah. Victor's a good friend of mine. Yeah. Victor the kicker, we used to call him. Phenomenal kicker. Yeah. But, so he graduated in 16.
Yeah, so I would go out after his practice, and I'd go and train with him. I'd go and kick. So my dad would go out there and help him train, and then I would go with him to kick myself. So that I would say he was probably the one that I wanted to be most like.
Mm-hmm. And you mentioned that you also played some soccer before high school, right?
Yeah.
Do you think that helped at all?
Yeah, that definitely helped a lot because the way you kick it, I mean, it's different than kicking a soccer ball, but you learn how to kick it the right way. Like most people, if you went and like picked one of the guys off the team to kick, they would probably kick with their toe. But like from soccer, I learned to kick like with the side of my foot. It's not really the side, but like
of your foot, yeah, just
top,
boom, right?
yeah.
Okay.
So that definitely had something to do with it. And then also going and kicking with my brother and my dad definitely helped.
Tell me, actually, just because I'm curious, what does the kick look like when you're just a normal kickoff? You're trying to get that thing as far as it can go. How do you approach it? What about your foot positioning? What's it look like when you actually kick it right?
So there's usually a line on the football, and you want to kick like where that line is. So you're going to kick the football there like with the top side of your foot. So I don't know how to explain it. So like the shoelaces
side of your foot, like around the laces?
Yeah. So, and then your approach, you want to be leaning back a little bit. And I don't know how to explain it, but
it is a complicated thing to explain.
Yeah, it's hard to explain.
It makes sense
to
me, though. Like, I can see exactly what you're talking about. So the tops of your laces are hitting that line around the bottom of the football.
Yeah, in that area.
You're not kicking, if your body's ahead of the kick, like you're not transferring the power to the foot. Like you have to, it's like your foot almost has to be almost out in front of you.
Yeah, and then the plant foot is like.
I look like an idiot doing these motions, I realize.
Yeah, so your plant foot is only like maybe not even like a half. No, I would say it's about a foot away from where the ball is. So you're going to be leaning back all the way and kicking the ball. So I don't know if that explains like what your question, but
I didn't think about how difficult it would be to answer this on this show. God help the people that are listening only. But whatever, people are gonna laugh at this part.
Yeah.
Are you the first female player at Prairie Central to start varsity, or maybe just in general?
I think there's a couple girls before me that played at Prairie Central, but I don't think they ever made varsity. I'm not entirely sure, but I don't think they ever made varsity.
Did you ever get any pushback for being a girl while at Prairie Central? No knocks on Prairie Central or anything, but I'm just curious.
I don't know. Not that I think of.
You were just pretty well accepted into the team then.
Yeah, that definitely was.
How did the guys react to you? I mean, you said it was a little awkward. Maybe it's just because you didn't know anyone, because you were coming straight from being homeschooled, right? Like 8th grade, you were homeschooled.
Yeah.
And then you came to Prairie Central. How did it look and how did it feel when you started to actually bond with these guys?
I would say, so yeah, it was a little awkward when I first got there, but as I gained how would I put it? Like the longer I played, the bigger bond I created with them. Like
the stronger the bond became.
Yeah, the stronger the bond. And then continuing on with my career, like as I went on, I would gain or I would get closer with them. So it would be like a family. Like they were my brothers. They would protect me. I mean, if they needed my help, I would help them. So, I mean, I would say I made a close bond with a lot of the guys, like most of them. So
that's awesome. Yeah.
I don't know if they'd say the same, but yeah, I
think they would. I've seen just the things that they post and how they've talked with you and how they speak of you. It's really cool. So you must be a likable person, I would say, as well.
I guess so.
You're not a jerk or anything to these guys. You're not pulling the...
I mean, I'll mess around with them sometimes, but yeah.
Awesome. And so let's talk about basketball, actually. I mean, you also play basketball and you're a phenomenal basketball player. Which is your better sport, would you say?
I definitely enjoy football a lot more, but playing basketball was also a lot of fun because, I mean, I was playing with girls, so
What you trying to say?
I don't know. Okay, I liked playing with guys, don't get me wrong. Like, there wasn't much drama with guys. I definitely liked that, but playing with I don't know, it was like different or same. I don't know what made it better. It didn't really, I don't know. But I did really like playing with them. I made a good friendship or made good friendships with them, and Where was I going with this?
Well, because I'd asked which is your better sport, but then I asked which was your better sport.
Yeah.
You said you liked football more.
Yeah,
and it was
then
good playing with
basketball.
the guys and stuff. But you said you did have some friendships with these girls. But to what you were saying, what was the vibe difference? Is there a different mood in female sports, at least like basketball?
It was a lot different because I don't really know how to explain it, but like it was just a different, like I could act different, I guess. So yeah, I don't know how to like explain it, but the way I acted definitely was a little different. But
A little different. What do you mean?
I don't know how to explain it. Like
I know that in women's sports, a lot of times there's a really deep support system. Like they're cheering each other on quite often.
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure what made it that different, but there is a difference, but I couldn't really tell you what it was.
Sure, you're probably not asked that type of
No.
question very often. It's like
No.
you're not a psychologist or anything,
No.
so okay. Well, who's been like one of the biggest influences, would you say positive influences, and you can name as many people as you want, who's been an integral part of the success you've had in football, would you say?
I would definitely say that Matt was probably my biggest influencer, I guess.
Your brother-in-law, physical trainer?
Yeah, Matt Kimmins, yep. Because he was not only like training me since I was 12, but he was also at every single basketball game and football game. But on like during football, he's on the sideline with me. So we would talk about things like during the game, like about the game and stuff. So there was one time freshman year, I got injured on a tackle. I like did something to my shoulder. I ripped a tendon or something. I can't remember what it was. But as soon as I came out, I went straight to Matt and like he did like a quick checkup, and like my arm, I had so much adrenaline, I didn't really know what was going on. Like I could feel pain, but I didn't really know what was going on. But yeah, I don't know where I'm going with this, but yeah, I went back out there, I played with it. And
you got lost in this idea that the fact that Matt he's a really good guy.
Yeah.
He's there for you, and he's on the sidelines for you. He's also, again, he's your brother-in-law.
Yeah,
I gotta quit saying that so
he's
much.
he's definitely like probably the one I most look up to, because also I want like in the future I want to be like him. Maybe not an athletic trainer, but like he's basically my strength and conditioning coach. So and that's what I want to do when I grow up, or not grow up, but like in college learn. But yeah, so he's probably my role model, I would say.
How does it make you feel to have that guy in your corner, supporting you and helping you and just being so invested in you?
I mean, it's amazing. I love, like, always having his support. He supports me in everything I do. Like, yeah, it's crazy.
Good guy.
Yeah,
good
he's
guy.
a great guy.
And you know what? I like Matt a lot. And
Yeah.
I remember one time, so like my pinky, if you can see it on people watching, it's just a little wonky. It's like a little crooked. I remember I went in for a tackle in my last football game, actually.
Yeah.
And I recovered a fumble, and my pinky was just 90 degrees. Just, I was like, well, that's totally broken. And speaking about adrenaline, that you had, I didn't feel it. Didn't hurt at all.
Yeah, you don't even notice it.
I know, and people on the sidelines were like, "Whoa, Paul, go see Matt, go see Matt."
Yeah.
And Matt looked at it, and he didn't even do much of anything, but he knew what was up.
Yeah.
And he just took my pinky and went and straightened it back out. I'm like, apparently it was
like
just
that's the other
dislocated.
thing. It's crazy how much he knows. Like if you ask him a question about like anything like body related, like muscles or bones or whatever,
Anatomy.
like breaks and stuff, he would tell you the answer like right away, and like what's going on with your injury or what's hurting you, like so what was I saying?
Well, what's wrong with it?
Yeah, like what's
he'll give you the
going on,
diagnosis,
yeah.
tell you how to get better from it and everything like
And
that.
he doesn't like everything. It's like right away he'll tell you what's going on.
Yeah, he's awesome. And was it ever intimidating to play in a sport that's so male dominated and so physical and so aggressive?
No, I don't think I've ever been like I don't
Intimidated?
I've never been intimidated. Not really, no.
You ever been? What was it like getting your first tackle?
Oh,
Do you
goodness,
remember?
it was the best. I was so happy I got it.
Well, what game was it? Do you remember the feeling or?
I think it was my first game for freshman, but varsity, it was, I'm trying to think. It was on a kickoff, and it was during a Pontiac game, and that one was just an assist. But after that, we played St. Joe, and so I had a really good kickoff, but he got through all of our guys, and I was the last one out there, and I just get blown over, but I stopped him, so I was like, they counted it down as a tackle, but I was pretty excited for that one.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Man. So, like I said, you committed to Rockford University.
Mm-hmm.
The special teams coach there is actually a Prairie Central alum, and that's Jalen Bashford, a phenomenal football player in his own right. How much did that have to do with your decision to go to Rockford?
I mean, it definitely helped that someone from PC went there and played there, and now is a coach. And not only is he just like a special teams coach, but like I feel like that would be better for me. Like since he's the special teams coach. Like he'll be working with me a lot of the times. So that definitely put it like.
It's a good motivating factor
Yeah.
for you. Do you have any goals? Looking ahead at your college career,
Football wise,
or anything.
I don't have huge goals. I just want to play like all 4 years. Like I'm just hoping to get as much playing time as I can, go all 4 years, take it as far as I can. So
Right on. Any plans going to the NFL? Really make a
I
historical
mean,
move?
That'd be pretty cool. But
Is there
see.
any part about you that's like for women empowerment type of thing, or is it not really that? I'm getting the vibe that it's not really that.
Yeah, I don't really, not really. I mean, I just want to play, not just because I'm a woman, but I just wanted to play.
I like that. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
No. So, okay, we're getting towards the end of this thing. Do you have any? You said Matt was your role model.
Yeah.
It seems like he's your life role model. Did you have anyone as a football player that you wanted to emulate in how you play the game?
I definitely would give my dad a lot of the credit too, because he would, over the summers, he would go out and kick with me and train me. And then I would say all my siblings, they all supported me at every single game. My mom especially, she was a big factor in it too. I mean, even though she didn't want me to play, she always, after that, she encouraged me to do so much. So I would give her a lot of credit.
When did she finally come to support you and you're playing football?
I think it was sophomore year. I was like, after freshman year, I'm going another year. I don't know if whether you like it or not, I'm going to do another year. So I was planning ever since freshman year that I was going to play all 4 years, but she didn't. But I told her that I wanted to play all 4 years. So she's like, after watching me play freshman year, she's okay with it, I guess. So.
Are you the first female player at Rockford?
I believe so. Yep.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
So cool. And, as we're getting towards the end, like I said, I want to ask you a few rapid fire questions, but maybe just one more thing. How do I say this? There's going to be a lot of young female athletes, especially from Prairie Central, who are going to watch this. Is there anything that you'd like to say to them? I know that you don't necessarily play for the women or anything like that, but what's something you would say to them?
Don't be scared. It's nothing to be scared about, or the guys are going to treat you right, whether what happens. So I don't know. It's a lot of fun. It'll definitely be something like the best thing you've done, because that's definitely the best experience I've ever done. Yeah. So,
best decision you ever made was
best
to play
decision.
football.
Yeah. I love it.
That's awesome. Well, hey, few questions for you, a few rapid fire. Favorite memory from your football career?
Probably the time I first scored a touchdown.
Oh, heck yeah. I didn't even mention
that's
that.
pretty cool.
Really?
Yeah, sophomore year, I scored a 5-yard touchdown. It's a pretty special moment for me.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Funniest moment from your football career?
Oh, geez. There's so many. It was a St. Joe game again, and I went for the tackle, and this dude, he full on picks me up and, like, chucks me. And it was even better, like, watching the video, because it looked so bad, but it was so funny.
That's hilarious. Yeah, it pays to be a little heavier in football, but sometimes you just can't help it.
Yeah.
How often do you eat pizza?
Every day. Growing up, I ate it every day, but now it's like every other day.
Oh, yeah, you're on a diet now, only pizza every other day.
A little bit. I mean, we'd go there for lunch every day when I was homeschooled, but when I went to school, I wasn't able to go I'd go after school sometimes, but yeah. So now it's not as much anymore, but.
Well, hey, I mean, look at the stats here. I mean, Marceloni's Pizza. Your family owns Marceloni's Pizza. For those people that don't know, in Fairbury, Illinois, it's like you ate Marceloni's Pizza, and now look at you, star kicker, going to play at college. So
exactly.
Maybe it's all in the pizza.
Maybe.
And what are you planning to study then at Rockford?
So I plan on majoring in kinesiology and doing exercise science. So I plan future. I think I said before that I wanted to be a strength and conditioning coach. I'm not sure where, but that's the goal. I wanted to stay close with sports. That's what I wanted to do.
That's where your heart's at, it seems. Sports and maybe even specifically football.
Yeah, for sure.
Wonderful. Well, your story's inspiring, Claire. We're all looking forward to seeing what you do in the future. You got a good head on your shoulders. You've got a lot of talent. It's been a lot of fun talking to you, but before we wind things down, I guess, is there anything you'd like to say before we do so? Anyone you'd like to thank? I don't know. Anything you'd like to say?
I mean, I want to thank everyone that supported me through all 4 years for football or basketball. I mean, it's crazy how much support I had, and I guess I don't know, but I guess I'm a role model. So for the younger kids, just give it your all. Don't give up on your dream, I guess.
Right on.
So
Clare Strong, thank you so much for coming on. That was a lot of fun. You're a great young person. Again, looking forward to seeing what you do.
Thank you.
My pleasure. That's a wrap. Oh, hey, before I hit end there, thank you, everyone, for watching and listening to The Paul Garcia Show. And if you love this episode, please subscribe on YouTube, like my page on Facebook, and maybe even follow me on Instagram. But most importantly, share this episode with your friends and family. And if you'd like to support the show financially, consider making a one-time donation on Venmo to username The Paul Garcia Show. And if you'd like to support the show and gain exclusive early access to episodes like this, become a patron on patreon.com/Paul Garcia. Until next Sunday, I'm your host, Paul Garcia. That's Clare Strong. God bless and have a great week. That's a wrap.